Hello, what's up? This is my Infernity EmEm deck for post-BOSH. So I'm going to try be pretty quick through this, just get some couple administrative stuff out of the way. I'm using my Twitch layout to film this because it's easier for me to film my web browser and stuff through OBS like this than it is to just set up something new, so that's why I'm doing that. And it's a good way for me to advertise my Twitch channel, so please do follow me. And I should try do some regular streaming from next week or the week after my exams. So anyway, I guess general overview, why Infernity? It's pretty cheap apart from the Draco Slayers and the Infinity. I think that's pretty much the only expensive card here, maybe Eccentrics, but you probably get away with not signing them if you really want to go budget. Honestly, everything here is super cheap. Crobat's going to be a common or rare, I think. Even this guy, the Dino thing, is going to be a common. And of course, Infernity cards, nobody cares about them. The plush fires, etc., they're all cheap. Like I said, the only expensive card here, legit, is like Draco Slayers and the Ignister. So you invest in 4 cards. Actually, Tall Mice is probably kind of expensive as well. So, I mean, it's definitely low to mid-range, especially with people like, you know, spending things on like Wizard and Solemn Notices, which I personally don't like in this deck. So yeah, the reason this deck got better is because of Monkey Board, basically. So Crobat and Monkey Board, you know, these guys are like MVPs, you know, they let you spit out your entire hand. One of the biggest problems that Infernity had was, you know, drawing too many monsters or not enough monsters. Now with Pendulum mechanic, you can play as many monsters as you want, really, because you're going to be able to put them all on the board. So that's kind of the idea. And the reason Monkey Board is so good, of course, is because it's a 1-card skill. You activate this, you can search Crobat, normal summon it, or if you've already used your normal summon, then you just get Lizard. That's 2 scales set up. You can just Pendulum summon your Archfiend, your Armageddonite, your Luster, whatever else you have in your hand. So that's kind of overview of why I think the deck is going to be probably, you know, a decent tier 1.5, something like that, next format. So, I mean, if you really like Infernity, play this. Obviously, it's probably not the best in competitively, but I mean, I totally think this deck has a chance. So anyway, I'll try to tell you some things you can cut, some things you can change, etc, etc. So, you have one Garnet, the Heiress. These cards are mandatory, pretty terrible to draw. Garnet isn't the worst thing ever to draw because it's level 4, but Heiress is 100% garbage, so that's terrible. 3 Armageddonite, Foolish Burial that you can trigger by Pendulum summoning, so it's awesome that way. Zephyros became really good because you don't need to waste monsters by bouncing it. You can bounce your scales and just reactivate them, so you use a free monster basically when you send it with Armageddonite, and it lets you do some crazy plays with Draco Slayer, for example. 1 Archfiend, 1 Necromancer. In playing this extensively, I found that Necromancer is only really good when you use Brilliant Fusion, and other than that, Necromancer is actually very rarely used, unless you haven't used your normal summon that turn, which is pretty rare because generally you need to normal summon once to like get your combo going. But yeah, and it's terrible to have on board. It's level 3. I generally feel like this card's been power creeped out, and you could legit just play Archfiend. Like, that's it. I was playing 2 for a while and realized you definitely don't need 2, but now upon thinking about it, you probably don't even need Necromancer, so you can play around with that as for yourself and see if you like it or not. Personally, I'd still keep it, but because we've dropped things like Grepher, because we've dropped things like Stygian, because of the Pendulum mechanic, you don't need to like try special summon out your hand. I feel like Necromancer has almost become redundant. So Infernity really is like a 3-card engine now, potentially. So yeah, let's see, we got the Gigabyte, helps you make your rank 4 plays. Mathematician, this is your 7th normal summon. I wouldn't really call these other things normal summons because you want to Pendulum them. This and you know, maybe like Armageddonite are the only ones that you Pendulum summon, that you normal summon to like help you get your scales and stuff. Even Armageddonite. So really, it's kind of 4 baseline normal summons you've got here. You know, everything else you want to be able to Pendulum summon. So, you know, you want some normal summons, obviously, and this guy lets you do it. But of course, you're gonna have to fall back on Armageddonite or something occasionally. 2 Juggler, 1 Tricker, and 1 Trick. I feel like these are the best ratios. I don't know if I'd play 3. You don't really want to clog this, but I feel like 2 is good because when you open Draco Slayer Plush Fire, it means you can use another one. It means you can use one when you have Brilliant Fusion as well. But you could potentially cut this to 1. potentially. Yeah, just like I said, take this and see what you think about it. 3 Lusters, probably one of the best high skills in this deck, to be honest with you. Helps you fill up your extra deck, helps you do more rank 4 plays. Conductor, just playing 1. It lets you get over stupid stuff sometimes, but the primary use is so that you can basically you now have searchable high and low skills with the juggler. So if you go like Brilliant Fusion, you're able to search out a high or low skill. If you Plush Fire, it's really good. It's your best high skill probably. Lizard Draw, you only play 1, but it's really important for keyboard, so keyboard becomes your 1 card skill. So you activate this, get this, put this in, and Pendulum Summon. I'm playing Part Naga, and it's really good with Lizard Draw because they're both reptiles along with Gigabyte, which means that if you have like something like Instant Fusion turn 1 or Hat Tricker or Gigabyte turn 1 and you need to overlay, you can make King of the Fair Elements to get your other skill. So Part Naga is the low skill and Lizard Draw is the high skill. So King of the Fair Elements is a rotor for any scale you need. That's why I'm playing Part Naga. Obviously it's really terrible because it's like level 5 and it's pretty garbage that way, but like I said, you only need it there for its scale. 3 Joker, just because you want to get that keyboard ASAP. Keyboard is the best card. 3 Instant Fusion, sorry, Brilliant Fusion. Yeah, more normal summons are good generally, but honestly this is mostly here for the Foolish Burial effect. Sephironite's actually really bad on board. It clogs up your board because you can honestly spam out so many monsters that I feel like you could, like, this is literally just here for the Foolish Burial. It's to get Juggler in grave, so that Juggler lets you get Trick onto your hand, which lets you do multiple special summons, or it gets you your lower high skill. So again, this is just here as a sort of another rota for your skills, because the actual monster it's bad is terrible. You can't do anything with Sephironite, you can't overlay it. Occasionally you'll Direwolf pop it and then use Launcher for more space, but that's it. 1 Foolish Burial, of course. Foolish Burial, by the way, is just even better now with the clowns. It means you can. It's a rota for a scale, rota for your Archfiend, etc. 1 Launcher, 2 Instant Fusion. I've been playing around with this. You could maybe play 3. To cut, maybe you could cut like the Necromancer. I can't really think of what else you would want to cut. Maybe 1 Juggler, but 2 or 3 is probably the best number, I'd say. 1 Rota to let you get your Armageddonite, which again lets you get your Archfiend, so it pretty much is Rota for Archfiend. That's the idea. 1 Barrier, 1 Break. Break's been okay. Like, you usually resolve Archfiend once and you just get Barrier, but occasionally there are a couple of combos you will get the second Break. The second search, so that's why that's in here. Emptiness I've been on and off with. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of been hit or miss. Like generally they can just like make something. Like Crobat is massive, so like they can like usually just like normal summon their own Crobat and then like attack over your guy, so Emptiness goes. So Emptiness hasn't really been super amazing for me. It could be replaced with Warning, but and play about with that how you see. You could even cut this for the 3rd Instant Fusion maybe. I can't really think of what else would be really useful. So onto the extra deck. I lost my feature match in game 3 because I didn't make this thing. I made this deck really quick to rebuild it, and I realized I forgot an important card in the extra deck, and it was actually this guy. This guy protects you from wavering, so it means that you can use your Infinity negate, you can use your Barrier negate on actual important negates rather than Wavering Eyes. So this guy protects you from Waverings. TLDR, your scales can't be destroyed when you summon him. So it's a contact fusion like Ulti Canahawk for those of you guys who played Ritual Beast, which you probably have, as all Infernity players probably shifted to Ritual Beast at some point. So yeah, and he's massive booty. Norden for your instant fusion, Sephironite for your brilliant fusion, Ignister helped you break boards going second. Dweller for Mermails could be a thing with Neptibus and stuff coming out, a bit of hype there. Castel pretty staple. Pleiades is there for your just making your big boards. Infinity and Nova are there for your Ptolemaeus combos. When you special out a lot of guys, having Infinity and Barrier, 2 Solemn Judgments pretty much is like very, very hard to crack. Direwolf's good for going second to pop back row before you go off. It's okay. It's potentially good as well sometimes for popping your own Seraphinite to launcher and bring back more guys, etc. Now this one's really interesting. It's Evil Swarm Nightmare. The only disadvantage this guy has is 2 level 4 darks, and this one kind of fell off the radar for a bit, but it's actually amazing. So if you read this properly, those of you who probably forgot the effect, basically what it does is it Book of Moons special summon the monster. But it's monsters with a bracket S, so it means they could pendulum summon 5 monsters and it Book of Moons everything. So a lot of people obviously haven't seen this card in ages, and the last time this card was relevant was like, God, I don't know, like when Evil Swarm were like a thing. You can just Book of Moon a special summon, and it means that, you know, they can't overlay it, and obviously PePe is insanely based around overlaying and the XE and the extra deck, etc, etc. So you can make this with like Crobat and Armageddonite, Zephyros, Archfiend potentially if you've got Necromancer on field to bring back. So many ways to make it, and yeah, it's really good for the Pendulum matchup because they think that they're Pendulum summoning and they're going to be, you know, because a lot of people do misread it and don't realize that it Book of Moons everything. So yeah, that's why that's in there. King of the Fair Elements, I've kind of been over this. It's a rota for higher than low skills. Diamonds in here for attaching to Ptolemice in the end phase. I'm playing 2 Ptolemice because I've actually come to the conclusion that you just spam out so many monsters. But honestly, you just shit monsters out your hand constantly. Like with the Pendulum summon thing, like you just bring out like double Armageddonite, Archfiend, Trick Clown, like Luster, stuff like that. Like, you know, you just have like a full field and there's like nothing like you can do except make Infinity, and then, you know, why not play another thing as well. Shout out to Giant Hand. You could probably play that come March time, I guess, when it becomes pleb friendly. You're probably not going to waste Giant Hand in an Infernity deck, let's be honest, but if you have one lying around somehow, that's probably a good card to play as well. So it means you could potentially end up with 3 negates turn 1. Also, just as a small thought, you could also play Soul Charge. It helps you combo off by bringing back things you've put in the graveyard, like your Infinity. You could like dump lots of things and then bring back the materials to make more things, like another Ptolemice for Pleiades on their turn, or, you know, just whatever you feel is necessary. Side deck is really iffy right now. I haven't tested it properly, but I feel like most of it's been okay. The Archfiend Eccentric, I'm not really sure right now, and obviously if you're on a budget, you're not going to want these. I can't really tell you what else to put in. I feel like everything else is pretty solid. But yeah, this is for like Nat Beast or whatever, I guess, and going second, sometimes it's okay to have like another MST, but with Parallel Twister coming out, it's probably kind of irrelevant anyway. Double Dark Hole Raigeki for going second against big boards. You know, you're going to go against EmEm a lot. It's very rare that you're going to go second. They're probably going to want to make you go first. No, sorry, they're probably going to want to go first themselves. So you're going to have to rely on a bit of mind games to realize like whether or not they're going to go first or second. Because you know, arguably if you're playing into no back row with EmEm, you probably want to go second, and, you know, rely on your hand traps to protect you as you wait for your opponent to set up their board. And these cards obviously going second let you out things like the Infinity, etc. And like even if they have just big cards like Feral Imps and just a big board of like cards, right? Infinity and other XE monsters, you know, you don't want to be sitting there trying to Castel things, trying to Direwolf things. You know, you just clear the board and go off and kill them. That's ideally what you want to do. Twin Twisters, of course, you know, the new super rare. This card's probably not going to be too expensive either way. It's a super rare in a pack that's guaranteed holos, so, you know, even though it's a super, like Draco Slayer is obviously a very expensive super, but, you know, because of the new format that Konami are using with regards to their printing, this is, you know, probably going to be okay on a budget. And, you know, it discards, right? Like Infernity love that shit. So, you know, you can discard like a Zephyros or an Archfiend or a Clown, and then you pop 2 back row, you know. So it's good for going against EmEm if you think they're playing a more trap heavier variant, because there are trapless EmEm decks, there's trap heavy ones. So, you know, you just kind of have to judge that by your game 1. Citing Triple Wavering for going first. So if you lose game 1, or if you know they're going to make you go first, I put Wavering in, and Warning sometimes. In fact, not sometimes. I always put Warning in instead of Emptiness against the Pendulum decks. And the 3 Typhoon. Typhoon is amazing because basically Typhoon is kind of acts as both. Like if you know, if you don't know if they're going to make you go first or second, you're really not sure if you're going to go first or second, you can just put Typhoons in, and it means that it's a hand trap that you can set. Like, just think about that, Infernity players. That's just mind-blowing. A hand trap that you can set, you know, without you obviously using up your normal summon. So it means that, you know, if they go keyboard, you can Typhoon it. Actually, I don't think it works on keyboard if it's the only scale. If they have like Dracos there, you know, you can pop it. That might potentially end their turn or something. So yeah, and you know, if you don't know you're going first or second, if you're going second, it means that you use it as a hand trap. If you're going first, you set it, and you can just pop their cards, right? Pop their scales like keyboard, etc. So it means they can't Pendulum summon. So this is why Typhoon's here. It's a really good in-between card, like if you're just not sure where they're gonna go. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm not really sure. I mean, I really hate like Part Naga, but you know, it is very necessary as your low scale, because you know, you do make rank 4s really easily with, you know, you have just counting how many ways you have to make rank 4s, you know, 2 instant fusion, a hat trick, or Gigabyte. That's 4 ways to make a rank 4, and potentially, you know, if Foolish Burial, if you're gonna search out a hat trick or something like that. Brilliant Fusion, of course, lets you normal summon twice, so it means you've got an XE play. You know, there's just so many ways to make XE plays that it feels like, you know, it's probably not too much of a big deal. And yeah, so I can't think of anything else I'd probably change here. Notable mentions could be like Key Beetle. But we're not really playing any Floodgates, and you know, Key Beetle Barrier used to be the shit back in the day, but you know, you have Infinity now, right? So there's no room really to like make Key Beetle. It's just too hard to make Key Beetle. That's the thing. Like, you're always gonna go for Infinity first, and then like to still at that point have 2 Darks on board to make Key Beetle is actually very rare. And if you can only make something with 2 materials, chances are you're just going to go into Pleiades, because you know, you have like things like Clowns and Gigabyte floating around, so it means that, you know, they're not even dark, so you can't use it with Key Beetle, so you're probably just going to go into Pleiades with the Ptolemaeus instead. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If there's a few Infernoid players kicking around, you can make Diamond turn 1 by using Ptolemaeus, so it means that they can't use, well, they can't mill at all, you know, and that's really good. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I can't think of anything else I'd probably want to mention here, so please leave me some suggestions or feedback down in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Go try this out for yourself. Honestly, it's really fun. The combos are honestly a lot more simpler than you would think compared to how they were previously. I feel like Infernity last year were actually a lot harder than this deck. Because of the Pendulum mechanic, kind of simplify things so much, because you know you're just going to spit out your entire hand. But yeah, this has been a long one. I did try to keep it short, but you know, talking about my Infernity deck, favorite deck of all time, you know, I could go on forever. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna mention. Like, comment, subscribe. Please do follow me on Twitch. I'll be chat stream soon. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you around next time.
Come, face me. Give in to your pride.